27 days until the Olympics on NBC. Brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Enjoy the moment. Next, the story continues.
Take it easy.
I won't take it easy!
As the battle for power begins.
You said it wasn't going to happen.
Now it's all or nothing.
Don't tell me what I don't understand. I'm not in my freshman year anymore.
The time has come to fight the good fight. The dramatic conclusion of West Wing Week. Next on NBC.
Would you ignore a stop sign? Of course not. Your life could be on the line. So be careful not to ignore the signs that your child might be heading for trouble. Are they being unusually tough on their siblings? Cruel to any pets? Are suddenly interested in weapons? Don't turn away. You need to step in and get help. When it comes to signs of violence, your kid's life could be on the line.
NBC this fall. From the producer of Law & Order comes a powerful new drama. Critically acclaimed Oliver Platt as a different kind of investigator.
It's about the truth. It's about finding out what really happened.
With an all-star cast, Phoebe Newworth, Tom Conti, Lily Taylor, and TV's hottest newcomers. They go behind the headlines.
You're innocent because on the night of the murders you were killing somebody else?
Boom. There it is. From the producer of Law & Order, Deadline, NBC Mondays this fall.
NBC congratulates The West Wing on their 18 Emmy nominations, including Best Drama Series. The quality shows on NBC.
You're watching Bravo, the Film and Arts Network.
I would say the sitcom is much closer to theater than film.
I lived for television.
That was the most influential image that I had. I remember your show of shows as a really formative favorite show.
There was Playhouse 90, there was Studio One. We were treated every week to just miracles.
Yeah, I was a TV kid.
Welcome to the Museum of Television and Radio in Los Angeles, and welcome to Influences. For more than 50 years, television has been entertaining us and informing us. What we may not realize is that at the same time, that little black box has been an incubator for the next generation of actors, writers, and directors. Tonight, we'll hear about the influence of Sid Caesar and Jack Benny on John Lithgow's comic style. And we'll hear from one of television's great writers, Larry Gelbart, how the early days of radio helped shape the work of the comic master who is today himself a major influence. John Lithgow trained on the stage, and before that, he trained in the wings. His mother was an actress, and his father produced Shakespeare festivals all throughout the Midwest. He wasn't taken with the family business at first, but eventually he studied drama at Harvard and in London, and before long, he was playing on Broadway, where he had a flourishing stage career. His breakthrough role in films was as the transsexual football player in The World According to Garp. And that very human characterization led to other memorable screen performances, including roles in The Twilight Zone and Terms of Endearment. Over the past 5 years, he's explored this medium, television, with spectacular results. On Third Rock from the Sun, he seems to have touched a nerve in his audience. He plays an alien on a mission to make sense of the unpredictable chaos of life on Earth. And we recognize our own difficulty in making any more sense out of life on this planet than he does. Here's John Lithgow and his influences.
Dick, when are we going to leave these bodies?
When we've learned everything there is to know about life.
Wow. Good thing we got cable.
I had a curious childhood. I mean, I grew up in a theater family. My dad produced classical Shakespeare festivals. So I was kind of out of the loop of popular culture. I remember when I was a little kid, I was probably the last person on the block to have a television. When the Army McCarthy hearings came along, my folks finally got a TV.
We've got to clean out those who are responsible, Mr. Chairman. In conclusion, those who are responsible, either knowingly or because they were simple dupes, covering up communists and traitors, not dead ones, but live ones.
I certainly had favorite performers. I loved Jack Benny, and I loved Milton Berle. They just captivated me. They were bringing a great style from vaudeville and revue and Broadway, kind of wacko American comedy, to television.
Why do women have to close themselves off?
They don't. Let it out. Yeah, you go, girl.
I always think I really ought to play a very modest, muted, low-keyed performance, but somehow or other, something takes over.
We can't hold ourselves back any longer. Knock, knock, who's there? Me!
Oh, wait!
It's too late. I'm here.
Oh.
I remember your show of shows as a really formative favorite show. I just remember that little ensemble. I remember every single one of them and what their shtick was. I remember Sid Caesar as this sort of great comic genius.
Mira, mira, auf dein Wohl, du bist der schlickest meiner Wohl.
Du bist der schlickest Herr, General.
You bet your sweet life, yeah.
And we loved his crazy German patter. We loved his tramp. His partnership with Imogen Coca. I mean, he was kind of like the gravitational center of this crazy, wonderful ensemble.
Out here on this beach tonight, I can forget the dance hall with all the smoke and the noise and the dancing.
Kind of rough tonight, ain't it?
That's good. You see, now we're communicating. Now I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
You like me. You really like me.
Most of the acting I did when I was young was in Shakespeare. And if you think of Shakespeare, people's first thought is, oh, very lofty, kind of stagey, poetical drama. But in fact, Shakespeare wrote every conceivable kind of play. And it was so much fun and so different one part to another. That sort of became the thing that I saw that as what an actor does. He twists himself into lots of different shapes, like Proteus.
Hey! Although we diss 'em, we love this solar system.
Dick Solomon, he's from outer space. He's trying to figure out how to be human, and he's ready to try on every conceivable kind of persona. It's a smorgasbord for a character man. And sure enough, in the course of 5 years, I've sung and danced. I've spoken several different languages.
Momentito. ¿Qué lengua hablamos?
Español.
¿Cuál es la lengua oficial del Ohio?
¿Inglés?
¿Inglés? Entonces hablamos inglés.
Oh.
I've worn a dress. I've been nude. You know, just absolutely anything.
Make love to me, Mary. Right here, right now.
Are you out of your mind?
No, but I'm out of my pants.
I would say most of my early years, I placed British actors up on pedestals. Olivier Gilgood, Alec Guinness. There seemed a good reason why they were all knights of the empire. I saw them all live on stage. And then I began to realize it's really important to hybridize, to bring the discipline of British theater and the sort of blood and guts of American acting together.
Oh, Master. Master, you've caught me. Look how the blood gushes from my very veins.
Oh, please forgive me. It was an accident.
Don't be silly. Acting!
When I did Saturday Night Live, I had done lots of comedy on Broadway, but that's a very tiny audience.
I hope you're not planning to go on stage with that spot on your shirt.
Where?
There. Oh, you fooled me! Acting! Genius! Thank you!
Everybody was astonished. To me, it was just fun. It was like reaching deep into my bag of tricks and pulling out something that nobody knew I had in there.
Two can play this game. Look, I have a spot on my shirt. Where? There, there. Oh, I fooled myself!
Acting!
Genius!
Thank you!
I love old-time comedy. I love Chaplin and Keaton and Harold Lloyd. I love the Marx Brothers. I can even take Three Stooges in small doses.
Oh, a funny man.
It's too much to ask that you just once make me a proud father.
It's not my mission to make you proud.
It is if I say so.
It's not.
If you look at a good episode of Third Rock, there is a terrific structure, order, and emotional through line to it. I mean, the show has a lot of heart. In fact, it's a very sentimental show.
You look incredible.
Come on.
I would say, in spirit, it's closest to Kaufman and Hart.
Come, Petrushka, we shall dance in the snow.
We love scenes where comic complications all come to a head in like one of the last scenes in an episode. A scene where just all hell breaks loose. It's like the cup runneth over. That's pure Kaufman and Hart.
Now I'm Candace Ballard.
Hello, what do you want?
I'm Tommy's guidance counselor.
By the way, my guidance counselor might stop by tonight.
There's a wonderful episode where the character of Tommy, his guidance counselor from school, comes to talk with us about how he's doing in school. It's played by Lorraine Newman.
Is everything all right?
Well, everything's fine.
Well, then I'll see you later.
Will you get back in here and sit down? Sit down.
Thank you.
She sees one instance of bizarre behavior after another, and it just accelerates and accumulates. It finally climaxes with the door being opened, and Harry is hanging on the door in a straitjacket, trying to master a magic trick.
How am I supposed to learn if you keep letting me out?
This is pure Kaufman and Hart. We all often refer to those plays as our text.
Bart?
I would say sitcom is much closer to theater than film.
Hey, look. The little hand is picking Dick's nose.
Sitcom is very much your performance. You're listening to the audience, you're playing to them. At the best of times, all the laughter you hear is the laughter that actually came out of that audience while they were watching you. You rehearse, you work rewrites, you try stuff one way, you try it another. That's all the stuff of theater, which is what I love about it. People ask me if I miss doing theater. I do it every week.
If I go to a pub in England, people, Billy, give us a song. Come on, do the piano, right, Billy? Oh, God. They were so blitzed, they didn't know what the hell I was playing. Things are okay in Oyster Bay. Me and Bob and a meatball hero. And I just gotten divorced, and he goes, she got the house, she got the car.
Billy Joel is inside the actor's studio for a 2-hour special with host James Lipton.
Tonight, part of Bravo's Rock and Roll Festival.
We want to live in our home.
Not a nursing home.
We want our children to care about us.
Not for us.
I want to grow old gracefully.
With dignity.
All good intentions, but help make them a reality with long-term care insurance from GE. GE gives you options like care in your own home to help preserve your independence and life savings.
I want my grandchildren to inherit more.
More than just memories.
For long-term care insurance, think of GE.
I mean, this e-commerce application helped expand our website into a global marketplace.
We couldn't print money faster.
E-commerce just got bigger. Do you know how big? Intershop,
building applications that help you sell in ways your competitors can't.
You've known him as Han Solo. You've known him as Indiana Jones. Tonight, get to know him as Harrison Ford.
I expect to grant my audience complete and total access.
Spend the night with Harrison Ford as he goes inside the actor's studio with host James Lipton, and then watch him really take charge in the World War II epic Force 10 from Navarone. Harrison Ford, next Sunday at 8 Eastern, only on Bravo.
Larry Gelbart loves words, and he can think of so many brilliant ways of putting them together that he said once he's constantly rewriting himself even as he speaks. I spoke Larry's words for 4 years on MASH, and I would have gladly gone on saying them until my tongue came off its roller, which is a Gelbart-Hawkeye phrase that still makes me smile. Larry had to go on to other things, and the show continued for another 7 years without him. But not really without him, because right from the time he created the program, his mark was on it, and it stayed there, challenging us and supporting us. His gift to us and to his audience has always been his intelligence. Larry has written just about every form of entertainment, radio shows, television shows, movies, musical comedies. And no matter how many millions were listening and watching, he's never reduced the wattage of his intellect to accommodate some mythical common denominator. Mel Brooks has called him the wittiest man in the business. I think that's true. He's also one of the most amiable people you'd ever want to spend time with. Everyone who knows him craves his company. So it's not only with admiration, but also with a great deal of affection that I introduce you to Larry Gelbart and his influences.
I think MASH was, it was more I think, a small feature every week than it attempted to be a sitcom.
Can't you ever be serious?
I tried it once, everybody laughed.
We felt an obligation to real people who had participated in Korea and real people who were participating in Vietnam, not to trivialize what is essentially a life and death situation. There, the mixture between comedy and tragedy was an absolute necessity, because we all know that people in these situations do outrageous things just to block out what's so terrible all around them.
All right, what's all that funny business there?
I happen to be very serious about this delicious piece of liver.
Liver? Where did you get liver? They're serving hamburger.
From that North Korean.
What North Korean? You mean the one that...
The one that croaked.
You must be loony.
You want to join me for breakfast? We can have a stack of pancreas.
When I was a kid, back in the Stone Age, radio shows, of course, were very much a part of my day. Coming home from school every day, the first thing you did was turn on the radio. All kids listened to the kids shows, and then, of course, the comics. The week wasn't complete if you didn't listen to Bob Hope and Jack Benny.
Right now, cats, I'd like to turn the mic over to a real hep character, the man who knows all the answers in the world of jazz, that solid jet, my platter partner, Jazzy Jack Benny.
Hotcha, Bodie-O-Do.
I think if you watch MASH with your eyes closed, you're almost hearing a radio show in some ways. The dialogue is kind of relentless sometimes. It hears like radio. So if you have a terribly cheap set, you can't get the picture, don't worry.
Where are you going right now?
To the nurse's shower.
Good, then I'll see you. Unless they plugged up the hole.
I had a phone put in my car last week, but the wires must be crossed. Every time I step on the starter, the spark plugs give a busy signal, and the receiver squirts a quart of hot oil in my ear.
Bob Hope was attractive to me as a young listener because of the rapid-fire delivery.
But think what it'll be like later on when cars have telephones and television, too. A guy's driving along, his wife calls up and says, honey, bring home a head of lettuce, some carrots, a cucumber, and get that tomato out of your car.
It was funny to wind up working for Hope just a few years later, you know, when I used to do my homework listening to him, and then working for him was my homework. After 4 years with Bob Hope, in which I worked with him in radio and in television, I went back east and went to work for Red Buttons, who then had his very first show on CBS.
Well, it's about time. Boy, have I been waiting for you.
I'm sorry I'm late. We're very busy today. Excuse me.
They did an awful lot of sketches, 7 or 8 or 10 minutes.
Here's your bill. Uh-huh. That's 60 cents.
Are you serious?
Yep.
You're not joking.
Oh, no, 60 cents.
Wait a minute, it's a bad connection. What was that?
60 cents.
They were playlets. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end to these plays, and they really had a structure. And I didn't know structure. I didn't know that kind of structure. I learned there.
CBS is going to sign you up as an actor. Here, put your name on this contract to star in this production.
Look, mister, I don't want to be an actor. I'm working.
For $10,000? $10,000.
And that's the first real lesson I learned about sustaining something beyond setup punchline.
Boy, $1 million. Fan clubs, a yacht, 2 swimming pools, 1 for rinsing off. Caviar, champagne. Hey, wait a minute. First rate is 60 cents.
When I came on Caesar's Hour, we would assemble every day and write material for the 1-hour review, which we did every week. What we needed was Sid's approval. Sid sat in the room with his writers on a simple gold throne and would nod that he liked that, he didn't like that. And on that show we did sketches, we did monologues, we did parodies, we did musical parodies as well. So it was a real grab bag and a playground for comedy writers because you could do any number of things. I remember we did an extended sketch. It was called Aggravation Boulevard. Our takeoff, of course, on Sunset Boulevard.
Feed him a grape. Don't let him kiss you now. Feed him a grape. Feed him a grape. That's fine. Now eat the grape.
The celebrated silent movie star, Rex Hansen was his name. And he was very happy when he heard that sound was invented. And we kept him from speaking for quite a good length of time.
Rex, do you realize what talking movies will mean for you?
And then we showed the downfall. We showed him trying to make a movie and preview audiences laughing at the movie and his not understanding why they were laughing and blaming everyone.
I'm laughing at those crazy pants you made me wear. It's you, Flo. You made me wear those crazy pants that look like bloomers.
And it's hard to believe, but you really felt for this foolish character.
How dare you? How dare you laugh at him? Do you know who that was? That was Rex Hansen, the biggest star that Hollywood's ever had.
Don't take on like that. It was my fault. I shouldn't have brought him here. But let's face it, Mara, he has a funny voice.
I think MASH, like any other reasonably good show, works on several levels. The insults, the anti-war, the importance of the series and what it had to say, the wit.
Keep it down. I'm doing something very difficult here.
Trying to tie your shoe again, Frank?
Watch it. I'm not in the mood for fooling around tonight.
You hear that, Margaret?
The people who were most inspirational in television writing, to me, were not the comedy writers, because by and large they were all people who took the boat over from radio. I was one of them. But there was another kind of writer that appeared when television appeared that had not made a living in radio, and that was the playwright, the would-be playwright. And so very early in television, one saw some terrific writing. There was Playhouse 90, there was Studio One, Requiem for a Heavyweight. We were treated every week to just miracles.
Well, I meant you'd be surprised at the different kinds of openings that come up for...
Cripples. For guys like that?
I meant for people who have special problems.
But I got no special problems. You see, there wasn't any room down on that sheet, but I was almost a heavyweight champion of the world. I'm a big, ugly slob, and I look like a freak, but I was almost a heavy... You know, I'd like to put that down on that piece of paper. This is no punk. This is a guy who was almost a heavyweight champion of the world.
I think every time you hear something good, you may not say, well, now I'm going to write better, but I think you're just aware of how good writing in a popular medium can be. And so I think those guys have always been with me. It wasn't until I did MASH that I realized that you could do anything you want with a half hour. And then I did everything I wanted with a half hour.
I used to love reading Hemingway because he wrote so well. But now that I'm here, I can't understand why anybody would willingly go to a war.
My favorite show was the least scripted show. My favorite show was The Interview. It was the last show of the 4th season. And that was a show that was largely improvised. It had no storyline at all. And it was just a series of reactions from the cast, from the characters they played, to questions about how did they feel being in Korea.
Has this whole experience changed you in any way? Certainly not.
Well, do you see anything good coming out of this?
Not a damn thing.
And it was so refreshing not to have to service a story, not to have to get to a point, but to just hear ideas.
I mean, I've seen so many people to whom killing is a casual thing. I don't know how we manufacture people like that, but it seems to me that we'll never run out of them.
And I was just determined to just examine every possibility, every creative possibility, to mix up the formula, because I didn't want the show to evolve in any formulaic way.
What are you shooting for? Well, that's the way this game is played. They shoot at us, we shoot at them. The last one to shoot wins. Here, it's your turn.
No. The reason they're shooting is that they're angry. If I shoot back, they'll just get angrier.
Pierce, fire that weapon.
All right. You're fired.
The notion of crying and laughing at the same time comes from my mother, who was not a professional, but had a way of diffusing the situation with a laugh in the most serious moments. So in a sense, it was my mother that wrote MASH for 4 years, and she never got a dime for it.
Annabeth Gish and John Voight living with the bomb in Desert Bloom. Tonight on Bravo.
This e-commerce application helps automate selling in any online marketplace on the planet.
From our site, too?
It's a huge new profit center.
E-commerce just got bigger. Do you know how big? Intershop, building applications that help you sell in ways your competitors can't.
For 4 ex-gangsters, going straight.
Look, lady, special orders do upset us.
Was getting old.
You said the good times are gonna last forever.
I thought we'd be dead by now. August 25th.
I want you to whack somebody.
The black market,
like old times,
goes gray.
Your jello-eating days are over.
The Crew, rated PG-13, starts Friday, August 25th at a theater near you.
Lily Taylor gets more than her 15 minutes of fame as Valerie Solanas in I Shot Andy Warhol, part of Bravo's Rock and Roll Festival.
Do you have trouble understanding conversations in a crowded room? Or difficulty understanding soft speech, like a child's voice? Or does it seem like people are mumbling when they talk to you? If so, do what millions of people have already done. Call Miracle Ear for a valuable free information kit. When you call our toll-free number right now, you'll receive our free Hearing Loss and You videotape. It explains the common causes of hearing loss and what you can do about it. As a bonus, you'll also receive our informative booklet, Your Guide to Hearing Problems and Hearing Solutions. You'll get straightforward answers to common questions about hearing help. So why wait? Start enjoying life again. Call right now for your free video information kit only from Miracle Ear.
Next Sunday on Influences, what do Roseanne and Sopranos creator David Chase like to watch?
I love the Rod Serling show. Yes! When she was like her real self, she was so funny and so quick.
There was some kind of a link between me and my father. He and I used to watch The Untouchables.
Influences, next Sunday at 7:30 on Bravo.
While some people may think of the past as an attic full of old and dated cast-offs, John Lithgow and Larry Gelbart and all the guests on this series have found treasures there. And through these artists, those treasures continue to give us pleasure to this day. Please join us next time at the Museum of Television and Radio as we explore the people who have moved and touched the people who have moved and touched you here on Influences.
Next Sunday on Influences, what do Roseanne and Sopranos creator David Chase like to watch?
I love the Rod Serling show. Yes. When she was like her real self, she was so funny and so quick.
There was some kind of a link between me and my father. He and I used to watch The Untouchables.
Influences, next Sunday at 7:30 on Bravo.
If I go to a pub in England, people, Billy, give us a song. Come on, do the piano, man, Billy. Oh, God. They were so blitzed, they didn't know what the hell I was playing. Things are okay in Oyster Bay. Me and Bob and a meatball hero. And I just gotten divorced, and he goes, she got the house, she got the car.
Billy Joel is inside the actor's studio for a 2-hour special with host James Lipton.
Next, part of Bravo's Rock and Roll Festival. Imagine a place where conversations were no longer than a commercial break.
Can I talk to you about something?
Can I wait for the...
Dean Burgin and Alfred Woodard star in Martin Ritt's love story, Cross Creek, tonight on Bravo. Leave it to Jack to be so smooth on his feet that even this fly girl will learn a new move or two.
I'm gonna take you places, baby.
Blood and Wine. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific, only on Bravo. You're watching Bravo, the Film and Arts Network.
I would say sitcom is much closer to theater than film.
I lived for television.
That was the most influential image that I had.
I never missed a Fugitive, and I never missed a Mission Impossible.
The most entertaining cop show that in my memory bank was Dragnet.
Yeah, I was a TV kid.
Hello and welcome to Influences, a series in which we get an unusual look at some of the people who have shaped television in our time, and where we see some of the work of artists from the past who have influenced and shaped them. We're here at the Museum of Television and Radio, whose archives contain the work of past masters, and where the shows of today's artists will themselves someday be influences. On this show, we'll be visiting with the actor Mandy Patinkin and Dick Wolf, the creator of, among other dramatic series, Law and Order.
Trouble with the world today is plain to see. Is coffee in a cardboard cup?
Ever since his theatrical debut in Hebrew school at the age of 7, it's been clear that performing is Mandy Patinkin's calling. Television viewers may know him best as Dr. Jeffrey Geiger, the passionate, arrogant, brilliant heart surgeon of Chicago Hope. But long before he came to television, Patinkin had accomplished a great deal on Broadway, including winning a Tony Award for his performance as Che in Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Evita. His memorable film roles have included exceptional performances in the hit movies Yentl and The Princess Bride. Patinkin was born in Chicago and moved to New York to study drama at Juilliard. And no matter how successful he's been on large and small screens, he's made it a point to return to live performances on the stage. In fact, his background in music and theater has given him a fresh approach to his Emmy-winning work on television. Here's Mandy Patinkin and his influences.
Dr. Morrison, pediatrics?
Jeffrey, you better give it to me or it's going to shrivel up and die.
What?
The ear. If we don't reattach it soon, it won't stay viable.
She's prepping in a while.
As soon as we get circulation, you're on. As soon as we get the heart started. I was a television addict completely when I was growing up. Every day when I went to grammar school, I was a patrol boy. I'd come home and I'd sit and watch Bozo Circus. It was a religious event for me. All my life, I wanted to get on Bozo Circus to be in the grand prize game where you throw the little ping pong balls in the bucket. If you win the last bucket, you get a bicycle and possibly a cotton candy machine. I never missed a Fugitive, and I never missed a Mission Impossible. Those were holy ground to me. Mission Impossible, that team of guys, you know, it was the real techno stuff that was incredible. Just incredible to me. I love the minds that created it.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim. A Fugitive.
The Fugitive. I love David Janssen. I thought he was great.
Falsely convicted for the murder of his wife. Reprieved by fate when a train wreck freed him en route to the death house.
I think it was the action and the mystery. Would he get caught? How would David Janssen get around it? Always so close to solving the mystery.
I've been running for 3 years, Maggie. Do you know what that's like? You can end it for me here, now, tonight. Where is he?
Well, suppose they grab him. Suppose they hang the rap on him.
He's guilty.
I think how it influenced me is it was about the truth. It was about the truth in terms of, I've been falsely accused. I need to tell the truth. The only way I can tell the truth is to find the individual who knows the truth. And that will set the record straight.
What do you want from me? I want your help. I want you to tell me that there's no legal help I can get.
You better know something right now. I haven't got any one-armed man to pull out of a hat.
I see.
You want help or not?
It's my neck. I can't just toss a coin.
I'm better than that. I've never lost a capital case.
Isn't there something you should ask me?
What's that?
Whether I'm guilty.
We've got a primetime audience waiting for him to respond to these charges. He has got to get back on television, apologize for any misunderstanding, and say to the American people, now you listen to me and deny before the public goes to sleep tonight. You do not go around in prime time.
Well, I didn't want to be an actor until I was 13. I was on the south side of Chicago. I hated school because school never had anything for me. Finally, I was in fifth period gym, I remember, and these two big guys said, you know, you ought to come over to the youth center on the south side, and they're doing this play called Anything Goes, and you might like it. And I go over there, and I got in this play, and I loved it. I was able to get through school because of it, and it changed my life.
Sit down. I'm a victim of circumstance. Where you heading?
When I was growing up, whenever I was punished, the punishment was that you can't watch the Three Stooges. And I watched them religiously. There isn't one that I haven't seen. The Three Stooges were wire walkers. They would do anything. They were out of their minds. They took it to the edge. They played by nobody's rules. They were just hilarious to me as a kid. And I love them to this day when I watch them. I don't think anybody compares to those guys. I remember when I was making the movie The Princess Bride. We'd finished making the movie. We were in England. I was sitting around the table with Rob Reiner, Chris Guest, and Andy Scheinman, Rob's partner, and we're having a kind of celebratory dinner. And then at one point, I'm just sitting at the table, and I went, you know, something that Curly used to do. And Chris went, well, where was that? Where was that guy for 15 weeks? Where was he? And I went, oh, well, it was just another character. But when somebody creates something, it's rare, it's thrilling, it's exciting, and it becomes classical. And classical things are simple, and they're worth imitating.
Listen to those kisses. Oh, this is a great, great country.
I don't believe in imitation in general. I don't think it's a healthy way to be, period, in any area of life. But in the case of things that are original and honest, I think those you want to imitate, just as you hope your children imitate the better qualities in you rather than the worser qualities.
When I was a boy of 14, my father was so stupid I could scarcely stand to have the old man around. But by the time I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he had learned in the last 7 years.
One of the things that influenced me more than anything in the world was Hal Holbrook do Mark Twain on the Hallmark Hall of Fame, and I thought that was the greatest thing I'd ever saw.
Congress?
I couldn't get over that a man who looked so different could end up looking like that. The fact that he looked just like Mark Twain with the makeup, and we all went to school and had that makeup book, you know, that theater book that had the makeup shots of Hal Holbrook being made up as Mark Twain. So I always wanted to grow up and be an actor and put that makeup on. That's why I did the movie Alien Nation, because I wanted to sit in that makeup chair. I don't need to ever do that again now, but I've done it. But I am a character actor, and that kind of character acting thrilled me and made me want to live that life. where we're sitting right now, is also a major influence in my life. We're in Creede, Colorado. We're sitting in the Creede Repertory Theater. This is a place that I came to act when I was at the University of Kansas in college in 70, 71, I think 73, for 3 years. And we did 8 shows a week on this stage that we're sitting in. Every night we'd tear the set down and bring in the next set. We built our own sets, put up our own lights. It was truly one of the major influences of my life, where I got to play an endless array of parts, where I loved the repertory theater, and where it set me on my course, saying, this is what I want to do. Nothing fills me like this. You know, as an actor, you sit around making movies because they do all these production shots, and it can be 2, 3 hours till they finish lighting it, and the helicopter gets a shot, and then, you know, you go and you open the door as an actor. And that's like, you know, 3 days' work. Well, TV is not like that. You do 8 pages a day sometimes. As opposed to a movie, you might do 1/3 of a page a day. And it moves, so it's not boring. It's thrilling for the mind.
I'm gonna crack and pour some warm water right on the heart. It can't hurt.
That probably won't do the trick. He's still running ice water through his circulation. But do the thoracotomy. Put the pacer wires directly on his epicardium so we have some control on the way to the OR. What's exhausting is when you do something like Chicago Hope and you click with David Kelly and you got a part like I had with Jeffrey Geiger, and David and I got involved where we just started talking all the time on the phone. And, you know, when I read that initial script, it was very different from what he started to see in me, and then we would talk about things in life and what we wanted to portray in families and stuff, and it just kept osmosizing itself onto that paper. Brings himself to it, and that self, to me, is an extraordinary sense of humor that captures the truth brilliantly and takes it in that Three Stooges way right past reality at times, you know.
What can I do for you?
I want us to sleep together.
That's a good thing he was already dead.
But he pushes the envelope, and so it's a black humor that he does that I love, you know, surrounded by truth.
Okay, babies, please.
Okay, let's go. I want it on the time. I think one of the things that we don't realize in our lives is how much we have learned from television that is unconscious. And if somebody sits down and asks you to say, where did you get that from, or why do you do that, you might end up saying it's because of TV, and you probably wouldn't be wrong.
This program is sponsored in part by Sprint 1000 Nights, the smart plan for nighttime callers.
There are deals on internet service and on long distance, but only one great deal on both. Now you can get 1,000 minutes of nighttime state-to-state long distance and unlimited internet access for just $30 a month. One service, one bill, one low price. Because some things were just meant to be together. Hook up with Sprint and Earthlink at 1-800-PIN-DROP.